Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Fall Guys. Today we're going to be talking about balls and news of games. So here we go. I asked people if they wanted to see my my gallbladder World Cup footage tournament ranked mode. I don't know. What is this called? Is it extreme ranked still? Is it full ball ranked? I'm not sure, but it's technically a ranked mode. It's got, bronze, silver, gold, all your classic medal colours. And this is it. This is some gameplay. But as you can tell, I'm not really talking about the gameplay because full ball gameplay is not the most exciting, but I asked you guys if you wanted to see it and at least 2 people said they did. So because 2 people wanted to see this, I spent hours editing this footage together. There you go. Don't say I never did anything for you. Anyway, what I actually want to talk about, and what will probably be the subject of this video and its title... Shut up, Paul! It's been over a minute in this video, probably now, and you haven't really said anything. I need to think of a title for this video, but I'm going to talk about Fall Guys, Fortnite, Epic Games, Panic Stations, and some people called Joe and Oliver. How's that sound? You like that? You like that idea? Is that a good plan? Alright, so here's the stuff that we know. Not anything, really. We know that Joe and a lot of the original Fall Guys team, Mediatonic team, have left. They don't work for Mediatonic anymore. And Joe was always the creative lead, and I think the person who came up with the very concept of Fall Guys entirely about 6 or 7 years ago or something now, like years before it even came out. But anyway, Joe has left, and so has Oliver, age 24, who was always one of the faces of Mediatonic, on social media at least. Remember when Fall Guys on social media was good, and they got loads of awards, and they got millions of followers on Twitter and all that? Good times, right? Well, Oliver, age 24, was one of the main people behind all of that success and silliness, and he's also left Mediatonic quite a while ago now. I can't remember if he worked for Epic Games at any point, but anyway, I think he's gone. He did a little YouTube channel for a bit, but him and Joe, as well as some others, someone called Wheels and some other people, I can't remember all of them, I'm sorry, they're the standout people for me. They've left, and they have started a new gaming company. As far as I can tell, it's going to be gaming-based anyway, called Panic Stations. Panic spelt with an exclamation mark. Yeah, the exclamation mark is in place of an I, it's not at the end, just in case you were wondering. Anyway, don't panic, because it's kind of intriguing. They've made some videos that are all very pigeon-themed, and hole-themed. Yeah, there's a hole with eyes. It looks vaguely creepy, and it seems to me, I read a quote somewhere, that studio, this new studio, Panic Stations, is going to be focusing on multiplayer friend slop, I think, in their own words, something like that. You know all the games like Lethal Company that you play with your friends that have things like positional audio, fairly short games, and just a lot of silliness? Yeah, I think that's probably the kind of thing that we can expect from the team and Panic Stations, the studio. I'm kind of excited to see what they actually cook up, the kind of thing we get to play, because I do actually really enjoy playing the friend slop genre with my friends. I enjoy playing Lethal Company, enjoyed playing... what's it called? I was going to say Paranormal Activity. Phasmophobia. Paranormal Activity is a horror film, not a game. It's a very good one. It's very spooky, but Phasmophobia is the actual game, the friend slop game. It's another game with positional audio that you play multiplayers with friends. They all seem to be kind of spooky. I wonder if Panic Stations is going to go for spooky. I mean, looking at the videos, they are very much pigeon related. I don't know if the game is going to be like that, or the first of the games that they come out with. But there's a spooky hole in the ground, so there's also a door that says danger on it. Like boarded up. So there might be some creepy element to this, some spooky, creepy, scary nonsense, but we'll have to wait and see, really. We don't actually know anything, apart from it seems like they're pretty much daily uploading videos on YouTube, maybe Twitter and Instagram. I don't really look at those things, but it's potentially true. The other thing, so if you want to follow in the footsteps of Fall Guys. If you're kind of getting bored of Fall Guys, you played it for years, or you're worried that it's not getting much attention anymore from Epic Games, you kind of have two options here. I mean, you can do both if you've got enough free time. You can either follow some of the original team over to Panic Stations and see what they're making, if it's your kind of game, your kind of entertainment and fun, or you can see what's happening with Fall Guys. Now, there's been a lot of interesting rumours coming out about Fall Guys in the last few weeks. There was a lot of fear, as it seemed like the game had been set up for getting no further updates, because like a year's worth of updates were all added to the game at the same time, and we've basically had nothing else since. It's been a kind of odd one. Well, we have had a new Crown Shard Scramble event come out with a whole 10 extra crowns if you play it. Woohoo! Anyway, the rumours. Let's address the rumours in case you're somehow not familiar. Fall Guys is rumoured to actually be fully getting put into Fortnite. I don't know if this is true. I mean, we've got at least a year's worth of content in our fancy Unity version of Fall Guys, the way we know it. And obviously there are a lot of people worried. And there's some downsides that I've seen people saying. Okay, so let's address those. If the game is put into Fortnite, do we lose this game? Do we lose this Unity game? Does it disappear forever? Is it gone? Is it unplayable? Do we keep all the cosmetics and currency that we bought from it? Does it get transferred over to Fortnite? How does that work? Do all of the costumes get remade in the new UEFN? Is it Unreal Engine thingy? That thing? You know what I'm talking about. Do you get to keep all your stuff, basically? Do you keep your progression, your crowns, your wins? Will that be transferable if this actually happens? The other thing is, what if you don't want to download a really big game just to play Fall Guys? Fall Guys is, what, 10 gigabytes? 13? Something like that? Fortnite's like 100? Unless you download the kind of less graphics versions and things like that. The thing is, though, there is going to be a thing called the Thin Client, which lets you just download the game that you want that is inside of that engine. Okay, the other worry people have is that they've already put Fall Guys in Fortnite. They put it in, they've spent a lot of time, money and effort doing it, and people played it for a little bit, and now they don't really anymore, because it's just like creative, isn't it? You can use the Fall Guys theme and obstacles to make stuff in Fortnite creative. It is not Fall Guys itself. There are no minigames, particularly, apart from stuff that people have made. The other problem with that is that the physics in the Fortnite version of Fall Guys are basically terrible. The netcode and the movement is really awful. It seems like just very jittery, laggy. There's not much hitbox kind of stuff going on. It's very vague and not good. But the thing is, if they fully did decide to port the game in, I'm sure they wouldn't be keeping those physics, and they would actually have spent some time doing it. The other thing we know is a lot of the old Mediatonics stuff did actually get moved over to Fortnite, I believe, or Epic Games in some way, and so they have been working on stuff in it for a few years, I imagine. So, with all the quiet we've had, maybe they have actually been going about remaking the entire game in the Unreal Engine. It's possible. I mean, Fall Guys itself is probably quite janky at this point. I'm sure that we've heard things about spaghetti code and the original core programming of this game not being that great. I don't know how true that is, but I've heard people say it. So if they're rebuilding it from the bottom up with Epic Games, you know, a pretty successful big gaming company, maybe it would be done better. But maybe none of this is happening at all. Maybe the game is just going to slowly fade away out of existence, and that's okay. It's been really popular for a solid 5 years. It still is. I don't think it's going to shut down anytime soon. But realistically, is it going to keep making money? Is it going to be worth their time spending loads of money to hold onto the IP and put it into a new version? Maybe it'll even be a sequel. Can you imagine if they did actually call it Fall Guys 2? You had loads of Unreal Engine maps and stuff, and it's just a full-on new game. Then it would kind of make sense if you don't keep your progression. I mean, you could probably get like some nice gifts and stuff for having the original version of the game if you get the new one. But I could potentially see that happening as well. You know, the game being an entirely new experience. Fall Guys 2 in Unreal, in the kind of Fortnite metaverse. It's possible, because let's look at the facts here. Epic Games, Fortnite is their number one. It's their big baby, their big ugly baby, that a lot of people play, and it's been popular for years and years. Then they also have Rocket League, which they acquired, which is pretty popular, and Fall Guys, which is pretty popular. I think, to this day, that's Epic Games' most popular stuff, right? So it makes sense that they would want to hold on to them and make some new stuff. Obviously, Fortnite's never going to have Fortnite 2 or a sequel or anything. Maybe it'd have a spin-off. It doesn't really make sense for them to do that, though. It's a free-to-play game. The only reason to make a different game would be to make a sold version of it, I suppose, to make cash, but they don't need to do that. So Fortnite is a just never-ending game, live service. They don't need a sequel, unless they have to do a complete engine change one day, you know, a long time in the future. But Fall Guys, I don't know. Sure, it's a live service game, which technically doesn't need to end, and you can just keep adding things to it. But Unity itself is kind of getting a little bit tired and old now. The game feels absolutely fine to play. It's nice and smooth, everything works. But if they did go to all this bother of making everything nice and fresh and shiny and new, would they just let you play it? Would it be free to play? Probably. Could they call it a sequel and get a load of advertising and hype around it? Potentially. Even though it wasn't that long ago in the grand scheme of things that this game came out, and we had COVID and lockdown and all that, a lot of people that started playing this game were quite young at the time, and they already have nostalgia for the time that this came out and lockdown and all those kind of gameplay memories. So you could theoretically cash in on, 6-year-old nostalgia by releasing a sequel to Fall Guys. Will that happen? I have no idea. This is just one of my ideas. But I think it's probably more likely that maybe the game could just be getting put into a Fortnite Unreal Engine scenario. I don't know. Let me know what you think anyway in the comments. It's kind of interesting. I've not really heard anything from any Epic Games or Mediatonics staff that could be kind of understood to mean anything specifically about the future of this game, so we'll just really have to see what happens. But my prediction is that we may be getting some more stuff related to Fall Guys in Fortnite, either in the metaverse or something else. We've recently had the Simpsons season in Fortnite, which has been really popular. Could they do a Fall Guys season in Fortnite? I don't really know if the original Fall Guys Fortnite stuff was that successful. It doesn't seem to have had a lasting impact, but it wasn't a full season. It was just kind of some official made levels that you could play, and that was about it, really. Oh look, it's another victory! We are the winners of Full Ball. So how did this whole thing go, this Full Ball ranked? There were a lot of games that I had to quit out of early, so that I didn't lose points, because, let's face it, this is very random as far as a ranked game mode goes. For a start, you've got loads of players on each team, which makes the first round arguably the hardest one to actually win. It's almost a coin flip each time. Pretty much anything can happen, especially when you have 4 balls, which seems to be quite a common variation in this mode. The other thing is you can get odd amounts of team players, especially as you're going on, if anyone disconnects. And it's just kind of a tricky one. It's fairly skill-based, actually, Full Ball. I'm someone who's never really cared about football in real life. I never kind of watch it. I tried to watch a World Cup once, and I couldn't make it through the whole thing. I just got bored. Sorry. I don't have a good enough attention span for that kind of thing, and it's a very simple game. I kind of get the concept of it being so popular for people to watch live and to, you know, get really drunk and stuff and party and celebrate, because it's so simple you can still understand what's going on, even if you can barely see or understand anything. It's just, you know, it's an eternal game that will forever be popular and simple, and that's it. I mean, that's why Rocket League is so popular, I suppose. Rocket League barely changes, and yet it maintains a very solid amount of players still to this day. All they have to do is just give some new skins and stuff every now and again, and people keep playing it. But Fall Guys isn't quite the same. I mean, sure, there are some people that still enjoy playing the same maps all the time, every time. But what else could we possibly get in this game? I mean, they've just basically made it so that every single Unity map is unvaulted, apart from Bean Hill Zone, because that, you know, the whole Sonic thing. They don't have the Sonic license anymore, as far as we know. And Sweet Thieves and Treat Thieves aren't technically vaulted. They're in the game. They're fully playable. They just only come around at certain seasonal times, which is okay, I suppose. But yeah, let's just say that every level that can be in the game is now in the game. So what else? What else can happen in Fall Guys? It doesn't seem like they're making new creative additions anymore. We haven't had an addition to creative for quite a few updates. We haven't had any additional official creative levels made. We haven't had any new shows added with fan-made creative levels. So we have creative, we have potentially unlimited changes that can be made, unlimited levels that can be made and turned into competitive shows. There just seems to be absolutely no effort to do any of that with the game, unfortunately. Which means either they basically are not doing anything else with this, and they've given up, and they're doing something else. Well, not given up, you know, but are actively doing something else. Or we're going to have a different game, maybe. But of course, we'll just have to wait and see. Are you going to be on Team Panic Stations with the original Fall Guys developers and social media people? Or are you going to be on Team Fall Guys no matter what? Whether it goes into a different engine, whether it becomes a sequel, whether you lose all your progress and you have to start again from a new game. What are you going to do? It's an interesting time, isn't it? I'm still enjoying this game. I mean, I said in the last video that playing Sonic Rush actually made me realize just how much fun this game is. Like, when this new Fame Pass came in, the one that we just got with all the wintry things, I thought, you know what? I don't really care for this Fame Pass. This is probably one of my least favourite ones. We got some nice colours and faceplates and stuff, but the theme is just a little bit boring for me. But I'll still do it. I'm still a completionist for now, getting all the free stuff that I can. But despite it really not being that interesting to me, I kind of enjoyed playing again. Hence doing all this stuff, making some videos. I know they don't really get many views anymore, but it's okay. I'm still having fun with the game, and I'm putting the bare minimum of effort into the editing of the videos and stuff. I'm still using my automatic cutting software that just cuts out silence that I bought ages ago. Getting my money's worth out of that software. Trust me, it's great. Or Recut, if you ever want to look into it. It's a little bit expensive. I wouldn't recommend it unless you're actually making money off YouTube. But it's definitely paid for itself. I've had it for probably about a year now and used it on so many videos, and it has saved actual days of editing time. But I don't really bother doing much other editing. I'm kind of the mind of I will put as much effort into these videos as I get back into them. So if I'm just getting a few thousand views per video, I'm not spending much time making them. You still get the same footage, you still get me chatting nonsense, you just don't get as many like meme pictures added, zoom-ins, little animated bits. I can't be bothered. And it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really add much. We're just sticking with OG, like, 15 years ago YouTube for this channel. No AI, some clickbait, because let's face it, it's fun. You might as well. I still enjoy making my thumbnails. I do everything on this channel. It's very much a DIY project. I come up with the titles, the descriptions, I play the games, I edit the videos, well, apart from my magic software. I make the thumbnails, and then I chat to you sometimes in the comments. I do read all of the comments every time, especially now there's not very many. It's very easy to read them all. But what's next? I'm probably going to keep playing Fall Guys until it actually becomes either really boring or I become really busy playing other stuff. These days I've actually been playing a lot of single player games and I don't bother recording them for YouTube because everyone else has already done them. And they've been out for quite a while as well. So I've been playing Resident Evil 4 Remake for the last month or so. I beat it a while back and now I'm doing a professional run. Professional difficulty, the top difficulty in the game, which actually is quite hard. I've been struggling with it for a little bit, but it's really fun. The game is so good. The old original Resident Evil 4 is one of my all-time favourites, and somehow this remake is just flawless. It's absolutely 10 out of 10. And I put off buying it for a while because I don't really go for remakes that often. But it came up really cheap on sale recently. I think it was like £15 or something, and I thought, you know what? We're gonna do it. And it's one of the best games I've ever played. It's fantastic. I recommend it to anyone who enjoys having fun, shooting stuff, and, you know, just like a little bit of a fun story that's also kind of silly and over the top. It's like being in an action movie. Very, very enjoyable. And you get some spooky elements occasionally as well. Not really, it's not a survival horror. It's just a good fun action game with lots of over-the-top stupidness. It's awesome. I can 100% recommend it, especially if it goes on sale again. It's a hell of a game. I'm one of those people who really likes to look at every single corner of the level and get really immersed in the world. So my first playthrough took me, I think, 35 hours to beat. It's a big game. There's so much to do and see. It really is just... whew, it's amazing. Although you can kind of speedrun it as well, in the professional run that I've been doing. I'm nearly at the end, and I've been playing for like 5.5 hours in that one. I mean, I've done a lot of repetition trying to beat certain sections, but in terms of pure gameplay, that's about how long that current save is. But it's super fun! Anyway, there we go. Gold. Didn't talk really anything about Full Ball, but that's it. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to chat amongst yourselves in the comments about whether you're going to be at Team Panic Stations or Team Fall Guys no matter what. I'll see you in another episode one day. Have a great day, and don't do anything stupid, okay? See ya!